So good morning all. In last class we discussed about the definition of ANN. The definition is, so what is the ANN means? Here you are going to try mimic the human brain. So human brain is a consists of neuron. Here you are going to create the artificial neural network. Okay, so that means the brain is a combination of different neurons. If you observe, these are the neurons. These are the 4 neurons. Now, so network is nothing but, so if these neurons are connected each other, this we are called as a brain. Let us assume like that. Okay, so ANN is nothing but, so if you create artificially this structure, neural network, that we are called as a artificial neural network. Okay, in this class we are going to discuss about so biological neurons and artificial neurons. So this is the introduction. We quickly complete this introduction. So already we complete this in our in last class. So what is neural network is nothing but, so artificial neural network, commonly referred as neural network, it is motivated by human brain. That is, human brain computes in an entirely different way from the conventional digital computer. So what it means, actually the human brain when comparing to the computer, it is slow, but coming to performance, human brain is very high. So how we can say that means, so for example, so how we can identify a person, how we can identify a person, so how we can identify a person means, so first you are going to experience that you can store all the pictures in your brain, and when you see that person you can randomly identify that person. The same thing if you want to do with the digital computer, then it takes much time, but actually the computer is faster than the human brain, but the result generation is very slow when comparing to human. So the brain is, why it happens means, the brain is highly complex, non-linear and parallel computer. So what it means, so highly complex, so highly complex is nothing but there are a million and trillions of neurons in your brain, and non-linear is nothing but it gives a non-linear result, and it is massively, so and parallel computer. Parallel computer is nothing but, so all the neurons are connected each other. So all the neurons are connected each other. So that leads to the non-linear and parallel computer. And so neural network is a machine. So this is the definition. A neural network is a machine that is designed to model the way in which the brain performs a particular task. A network is usually implemented by using electronic components or is simulated in software on a digital computer. So a neural network is a machine actually. So here we are going to define a machine that is designed to model the way in which the brain performs, how the brain works. This machine also works like that. So for example, it's a rainfall prediction. So rainfall prediction. So for example, I2, I2, Hemant. So how we can predict the rainfall? If it is a human brain, we can predict that, so this is the month April. So this is the month April. So there is no rain. Let us assume like that. So in similar way, if you design a machine, this machine will also predict the results. Okay, that means what is a neural network? A neural network is a machine that is designed to model the way in which the brain performs a particular task. A network is usually, that means in this brain normally we have some neurons. So these are the neurons. Now, so these neurons in this machine also we are going to construct, or you are going to design the neurons, and this network is usually implemented by using electronic components. So these components are ICs, we are called as a neurons, or is simulated in software on a digital computer. So to achieve good results and performance, the neural networks employ a massive interconnection of simple computing cells, so referred to as neurons or processing units. So these machine, in this machine you are going to define some circuits. So these circuits we are called as a, so neurons are processing units. It resembles the brain in two aspects. One is the learning process. So how we can, how our brain is working means, so by learning, it learns. So first you are going to experience the things, then you are going to respond. So that process we are called as a learning process. And next one, interneuron connection strengths known as synaptic weights are used to store the acquired knowledge. So what it means? Interneuron connections. What it means? For example, let us assume, so this is the neuron. So this is the neuron. Interneuron connection strengths known as synaptic weights. For example, this neuron is connected with another two neurons. Now, so these neurons, so take the input from this neuron, and for this neuron you are going to add some strength. Strength is nothing but, for example, here we are going to find the addition of two numbers. Let us assume, so 10 plus 10. Our expected output is 20. Our expected output is 20. But if we give, so 10 plus 10, if the machine gives 10 plus 10 equals to 19, then you are going to strengthen this neuron. So that we are called as a synaptic weights. That we are called as a synaptic weights. So actually, the neural network is very similar to our brain. Okay, why? So learning process is nothing but, in starting stage we are going to think about some situations we are thinking in similar, that means in different manner. So after experiencing the situation, you are going to change your perception. And similarly, if you are going to give the input and we have some expected output, if you're not getting the expected output, then you are going to change the weights of the neuron. So interneuron connection strengths known as synaptic weights are used to store the acquired knowledge. That means in this you are going to store the acquired knowledge. So 10 plus 10 equals to 19 we got, but this is the wrong output. So you are going to strengthen the neuron. So that weights we are called as a synaptic weights. Okay. So this is up to here we discussed in previous class. Now we are going to see the benefits of neural network. So benefits of neural network. So first one, non-linearity. Non-linearity. So what is non-linearity? So non-linearity is nothing but, so for example, here you are going to give the input. Now, so these are the neurons. Let us assume, so these are the neurons. Okay, so these are connected like this. Now, so by using some function, you are going to find some output. So this is the output. Let us assume, not exactly this. Okay, so these are the neurons interconnected, and by using some function, just wait. Okay, so by using this function, you are going to get the output. So this function is normally summation of all these outputs. So this is the input we are giving. These neurons send some output. So now we sum these output by using some function, we get some output. So non-linearity is nothing but, what is the summation here? For example, here I am giving the input as a 2, 3, 5. Then if we returns the 10, then it is called as a linear output. So linear is nothing but simply it takes the input and you are going to perform the summation. But actually the purpose of the neural network is non-linearity. Non-linearity is nothing but you are going to give some decision. You are going to predict some decision. So in our example already, say on example, that is, so rainfall prediction. So in rainfall prediction, you are going to take the input from the some Excel file. All these are stored in these neurons, and you are going to perform some function. The output is you are going to find the rainfall, yes or no. Now in today, you are going to see the rain or not. So you are going to determine these yes or no. That means here, so linearity is nothing but all the inputs are you are going to find the summation for this input and you are going to present as output, then it is linearity. But by using these neural networks, you don't want any linear results. We want so non-linearity. That means non-linearity is one of the advantage of neural networks. That means you are going to find some conclusions. You come to some conclusions that we are called as a non-linearity. So next one, input output mapping. Input output mapping. So learning with a teacher or learning without a teacher. Okay, we call this as a supervised and unsupervised learning. So input output mapping, so we have two types. That means the input we are taking, that is so learning with a teacher. So this we are called as a supervised learning. So learning without a teacher, that is unsupervised learning. That means so based on the inputs, the system will learn itself. Okay, so input and output mapping, that means that it takes the input and so it based on some knowledge, it generates some output. Now adaptivity, to adapt their synaptic weights to changes in the surrounding environment. So what it means, so for example, the expected output is not arrived, then automatically the synaptic weights will be changed. So already we discussed that. For example, 10 plus 10, so 10 plus 10, the expected output is 20, but we get 19. Then we are going to change these synaptic weights of the neuron to get the correct results. So for example, so rainfall prediction in the August, for example, in the August, predict the rainfall means we get the true. But if the system returns the false and it is not matched with the result, then you are going to adjust these synaptic weights of the neural network. So that we are called as a adaptivity. So adaptivity as per the expectations. Okay, so next advantage is evidential response. So evidential response is nothing but it's a decision with a measure of confidence. So measure of confidence is nothing but as August we are going to find the rains. So for example, in August there is a rainfall. We predict like this. Your neural network predict like this. So decision with a measure of confidence. So how much confidently you are going to say that in August there will be rains. That means based on evidence you are going to respond like this. So that is the one of the benefit of neural network. So contextual information. Every neuron in the network is potentially affected by the global activity of all other neurons in the network. So what it means, so it's a artificial neural network is a different, so it's a connection with different neurons. All the neurons with are connected like this. Now so these neurons can take the input from all the remaining neurons in the neural network. So that is contextual information. Every neuron in the network is potentially affected the global activity of all other neurons in the network. That means, for example, you take this neuron, just wait. So take this neuron. So this neuron takes the input from this neuron and it gives the output to another neuron, and it takes the input from many neurons, and similarly, so this neuron will generate the output and transmit to another neurons. So that means it's a contextual information. Every neuron in the network is potentially affected by the global activity of all other neurons in the networks. So next one, fault tolerance. Fault tolerance. So what is a fault tolerance? So for example, in August, there is no, our neural network model predict that, so there is no rain. Now, so fault tolerance is nothing but the graceful degradation, how much of fault is taken place. That means when I am saying that in August there is no rains, so that is the, you think that that is a fault result. That is a fault result. And similarly, if I am say that in May, so there is a rains, heavy rains, that is also a fault. So fault tolerance is nothing but here the graceful degradation, how much of fault is taken place. So how much based on the fault, you are going to decide the degradation of the neural network. If fault is too many, if I am saying that in May there is heavy rains, then the degree of degradation is large. If fault is small, then the degree of degradation is also small. So fault tolerance is nothing but the graceful degradation, how much of fault is taken place. If fault is too many, then degree of degradation is large. If fault is small, then degree of degradation is small. Okay, that means your design is some system. This is the your ANN. Now, so this model can predict the rainfall. If it predicts that in May there is heavy rainfall, then the degradation of very large for this system. Okay, if the fault is small, then degree of degradation is also small. So next one, VLSI implementability. So that means how we can create the artificial neuron means by using VLSI. It's very large scale integrated circuits. By using these ICs, you are going to create neurons. So VLSI is implementability. A neural network well suited for implementing using VLSI technology. So by using these VLSI technology, so you are going to implement these neural networks. So uniformity of analysis and design, and same notation is used in all domains, so involving the application of neural networks. So that means uniformity of analysis and design. That means if you want to design any neural network, then you are going to follow some standards. That is, you are going to follow some uniformity of analysis and design. So same notation is used in all domains involving the application of neural networks. So what is the common thing? If any neural network model, the neuron is common. Neuron is common to all neural networks. So these commonality makes it possible to share theories and learning algorithms in different applications of neural network. Okay. So neurobiological analogy. A design of neural network is motivated by analogy with the brain. That means, so how you are going to try to design these machines. ANN machine means you want to create a brain. These two can react similarly. So that means rainfall prediction is an example. You are going to find either you expect the rain or not. Okay. A design of neural network is motivated by analogy with the brain, so which is a living proof that fault tolerant parallel processing is not only physically possible but also fast and powerful. I hope you all know. You all are in 4th year. I hope you all know the importance of machine learning. So machine learning is also part of artificial intelligence. And somewhat ANN is also we call as a machine learning also. So many algorithms we are going to learn. So all these algorithms are used to design the machines that is going to predict or conclude some facts. So that means by using this ANN, you are going to try to mimic the human brain. So how the human brain can react. In the similar way, your ANN machine also react. So which is living proof that fault tolerant, so parallel processing is not only physically possible, but also so fast and powerful. The human nervous system may be viewed as a three-stage system. A three-stage system. What is, first one is receptors. So this is the receptors. So this is the neural net and effectors. So these are the three-stage system. Our brain is a three-stage system, and this is the block diagram representation of nervous system. So receptors, so neural net, and effectors. That means it is a stimulus. So that means from external environment, you are going to stimulate your neurons. In that there is receptors. Now, based on these input, you can store some knowledge in your neurons, and these affects the other neurons, and it gives some response. The brain so continually receives information, so perceives it, and makes appropriate decisions. Okay, I hope you all are understand this. The brain continuously receives the information. That means our brain continuously receives the information, so perceives it. So perceives is nothing but it can stores or it can remember and makes appropriate decision. So based on the information you received, so how you are going to store, so how you can interpret this data and makes appropriate decisions. This is the block diagram of, so block diagram representation of our nervous system. The receptors convert stimuli from a human body or the external environment into electrical impulses that convey information to the neural net, that is a brain. Here, if you observe that, so this is the receptors. So this is the receptors. So how it receives the input means by stimulus these receptors. That means we can get the these input from human body or from the external environment. When it receives that, it converts into electrical impulses that convey information to the neural net. Now, we discuss about how human brain is, how the human brain give the fast results when comparing to computer. So these computers are, just wait. Okay. So these computers are designed with some silicon ICs. So these ICs with the speed of 10 power minus 9 second. That means in nanosecond, it's going to perform the instructions. So this is about the computer. The computer can perform the instructions or operations in nanosecond, let us assume. Okay. But coming to neuron. So neuron will take a millisecond. So millisecond is nothing but 10 power minus 3 second. That means coming to silicon IC, how it can process? It can process in a nanosecond. But coming to human brain, it takes millisecond. So the silicon ICs are with the speed 10 power minus 9 seconds. So neurons are 10 power minus 3 seconds. By seeing this speed, we can conclude that the computers are fast. But coming to result, the human is faster than the computer. So how we can say that? So in our previous example, we discussed that identification of a person. So how we can identify a person? Sorry. Okay. So how we can identify a person? So means, so first you are going to store all the images of the persons. Now you are going to compare the, for example, this is the person, you are going to find you are going to identify this person. How we can identify? So this picture is compared with all the pictures in your mind. So within the seconds, if you are the humans can identify this task or perform this task within the second. But coming to system, the same task it going to perform within some minutes. Why? Because it can compare this required image with all the images in the database. It takes more time. So why it's happened means, so because the brain consists of some massively parallel network of neurons. So more than 10 billion neurons are in this human brain. That means, so these type of neurons, so this neuron will store the data. We have 10 billion neurons in your mind, and all these neurons are connected so massively and massively, so parallel network. So when comparing to computers or machines, our human brain is very fast. So this will consist of 60 trillion of interconnections. 60 trillion of interconnections. That means, so each neuron is connected with many neurons in our mind. So the connections are in trillions. There are 10 billion neurons and 60 trillion interconnections. So when comparing to the computer machines, our human brain is faster. Okay, so this is about today class. So thank you all.